Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fight Me Bro betting show. This week, we're breaking down UFC Fight Island 7, I believe. It's listed as like Fight Night 180. Now, there's, again, every week, it just re-pisses me off. But the main event is Korean
At this
Zombie
point, I think they're
versus Brian
doing.
Ortega,
At this
which is,
point, I think they're just doing like the octopus, where it just they just have a bunch of names that it could be
mhm.
based on their prior naming nomenclature, and then they just have the octopus pick one, and it's like, oh, are we going to go with Fight Night? Are we going to go with UFC Ortega versus Zombie? Are we going to go with Fight Island? Are we going to go with Dana White's Saturday Night Throwaways? Like, and the octopus just picks one, and then then we just land on it.
I'm just going to
There's no
start.
rhyme or reason whatsoever.
I'm just going to start picking a hashtag randomly, like UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus 13, and just see if it catches on. Because I think if you're the first one to tweet it on, if you're the first one to tweet out whatever it is on MMA Twitter, that's just the hashtag for the night. But yeah, it's Korean Zombie versus Brian Ortega, which is an absolute slapper of a matchup. It's been like 2 years in the making with plenty of drama, with Brian Ortega slapping the shit out of a K-pop star, which is probably one of the weirder storylines in the UFC, which is
expected.
Yeah.
I don't know about people slapping people in MMA is never going to be weird, but
slapping K-pop star translator, that's the first. I think that's
especially out of Brian Ortega.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Ortega definitely his stock after the Max Holloway fight was still sky high. Ever since that, with the lack of fighting, with the
for a while there, it kept going
bullshit.
up. Even
what's up
after wasn't he for a while after that? I would still even say it was going up because then wasn't that when he was on his like Summer Rae, Halle Berry? Like that's when he went on the heater.
What's it called? Claudia Gadelia.
Yes. I think that was all after Max Holloway. So his stock's still
Avril Matthew, that Greek boxing chick. I know.
Oh yeah. I mean,
the guy's so his stock was going higher depending on, how you view that. But then again, it's a common thread in the UFC. If you're not, it's like, what have you done for me lately? If you're not fighting now, your stock is going to continue to plummet. Just look at Stipe, look at fucking even Masvidal. Masvidal, after 2 months, if he doesn't fight, people are bitching. They start not to like him. But now I think I'm in full camp of kind of fuck this guy. It was a bitch move with the whole slapping thing. We'll see how that plays into my bets later, but we'll get into the meat. But before that, Nick, what'd you go? 4-0 last week.
4-0 last week.
I went 3-1, hitting my lock. We're guaranteeing money at this point. Like as I'm seeing the board, I'm just adding bets because I'm going to win them. Like I'm just like, oh, that's a number that I'm just seeing W's.
You're playing with like fixed. I'm trying to think of what. There's a carnival game where like is it the rings where like some of the rings are weighted so like when you throw it.
Oh no, it's like like some of the holes are like contorted when you like the milk cap bottles where it's like not perfectly.
Yeah, but like it basically would be like worth throwing. Like think of the opposite of that is kind of what I was getting at, where it's basically like it's just fixed the other way. So like instead of a carnival game where you go and the basketball hoop is literally just the size of the ball, so unless you put it like directly in the rim, we're doing the opposite. Like we are shooting shots at a basketball hoop that has 3 times the circumference of a normal basketball hoop.
So and basically, like we're just no look at Lisa Ann's asshole right now. Just gaping. Yeah. We're just swish, swish, swish. Just map hacking these fucking bets.
Gaping your bookie.
So I have 5 bets in 4 fights. Nick has.
I got 4 bets, 3 fights.
4 bets and 3 fights. So I'll get things started. First bet is coming in third from the top. Or actually, no.
I think it's
no. This is lower on the card. So first bet. I forgot this one was lower. It's going to be Jillian Robertson over Poliana Botella at -210. What I know about Jillian Robertson is she's okay at fighting, pretty good at grappling. What I remember about Poliana is that she got ass fucked by, what was it, Claudia Gadelia, that just took her back, choked her out.
Just about anybody that can grapple.
She can't grapple. And unless she's fixed that problem, she looks very good on the feet. But Jillian Robertson's the type of fighter that doesn't want to fight where you're strong. She wants to fight where it's ugly, and it will be ugly. So I'm feeling a decision here, but -210, I think it's safe money.
Okay, easy enough. So full disclosure, like we said, one, I can't necessarily say I'm proud of how my card turned out. As you guys know, anytime my card's got heavy chalk on it, we always have a sad nick. That said, it's been like you were telling me last week, even when we were completely off camera, just betting, like, dude, winners are winners. So like that, which at the end of the day in gambling, plus money is ideal in comparison to down money. So whether or not it's all chalk. That said, how we arrived here, I got to be honest, I looked at this card up and down like 3 or 4 times maybe, and I just honestly thought I was going to struggle to make a pick.
Like, I didn't see anything.
I might have a 1 or 2. And then after I kept looking at it, lo and behold, here we are with 4 picks. So first one, we got not a daily double, but just a double pick. Those of you that have been with us for a minute know the difference, but I got one last week. Let's do it again this week. I got James Krause and the over 2.5 rounds in the Krause Claudio Silva fight.
Okay.
This actually low key is one of the fights I'm more out, like remove the main event. Obviously that far and away is the best fight on this card, but I got to say, probably this is the fight I'm next most excited about. You got Krause coming in on late notice again, he completely out-grappled a decent, now different style of grappling, less submission, more power wrestling oriented in Trevin Giles. I thought he won that fight up at middleweight.
He got robbed.
He got fucked by the judges, I think.
On like 1 week notice too, up a weight class. And
so now he's on 2 weeks notice, down back at 170 in his own weight class. We got Claudio Silva's on a 3-fight submission streak, which is remove Royce Gracie beating up substitute teachers. Is that a record? Like that might be a record for most submission wins in a row, I think. Oh, Damian Maia actually. 3 in a row.
3 in the UFC.
Not most submissions ever, obviously.
In a row.
Most in a row.
That's a pretty impressive. I feel like what's his name?
Oliveira or Damian Maia are the only 2 that I can think might have more.
What's his name? 155 subbed the shit out of Kevin Lee. But he started knocking people out. What was his name?
I said Oliveira.
Oh, Oliveira. I didn't hear you say that. Yeah. But yeah, he would like sub someone, knock him out, sub someone, knock him out.
Right. So I don't know. Right. But so that's impressive. And then Krause has been more of a TKO guy as of late, but he's got 14 subs on his resume too. So I'm thinking this is going to be solid grappling. I actually don't see either guy getting submitted unless somebody gets rocked or something. That always is a wild card in the submission game. But I mean, coming back down to 170, I think he's going to be more comfortable. He's bitter about that last loss. He's about 4, almost 5 years younger than Silva. I like James Krause, man. I like the guy to get it done. I don't know if I'm just
what's his odds?
Minus 165 for Krause, and then the over 2.5 minus 135. Yeah, again, I know Krause has been TKOing people lately, but I don't. Silva's undefeated. He's got 1 disqualification loss. He's in that John Jones territory. But again, these guys' resumes are really similar. People keep saying Silva. They go back to he beat Leon Edwards, picked up a split decision over him, I think 6 years ago. So that was kind of before Leon Edwards was Leon Edwards. But I think Leon Edwards, he's
come a long way.
Yeah, right. Just not in marketing. He skipped that entire part.
Which he's probably as recognizable now in as public Claudio as he was 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's just as recognizable now as Claudio Silva is, despite being ranked number 2 or something. Sure. But yeah, so I think this is going to be a barn burner, man. I think we get the over. It's going to go to a decision, and I like my boy James Krause to pick up the dub here.
It's hard to bet against James Krause because of how down he is to scrap. Like, you just got to respect a dude that's like, he's just out there coaching on Abu Dhabi, and he's like, I need to be in there. I'm coaching. There's a lot of these coaches, the John Danaher is like, no, I get my satisfaction from coaching. That scratches his itch, but he's out there to punch some people. So yeah, I like that. I'll probably bet him the night of. Moving on for me, it comes into this Modestas Bukakis over Jim Crute at plus 270. I think he's a live dog here. Jim Crute.
If there was one fight I would have said that you would have had on your card, it was Jim Crute. Like, Jim Crute's one of your guys.
He is one of my guys, even though I've never won a bet on him because I bet him to knock out Serkinov, got subbed. I bet him to, I think it was win by decision, and then he just knocks out, what's his name, Sam Alvey. And then his last fight, I got him to win by TKO, and he Kimura's the guy. I can't get him fucking right. I bet on him. Like, I just can't get him right.
I cannot believe that you're not betting on Jim Crute.
Well, I watched this other guy, and what made me actually watch his fight is he got a badass nickname, the Baltic Gladiator. That's
pretty sick.
Pretty sick. He's 6'3", ex NBA play or ex NBA hopeful. I guess he went to school in Louisiana. He was one of these Euro guys trying to be basketball. So
got it.
That fell through.
Luka Doncic.
6'3", bricked up, actually moves pretty damn well for a 205 pounder. So I think we all know Jim Crute. Like, even in his fucking nickname, the Brute Crute, he ain't going out there to be like having some technical match. Like, he's gonna go out there and he's gonna try and knock your fucking head off.
He's doing horsepower shit.
Yeah, Bukkake actually is trying to like go out there. He's light on his feet, get some movement in. So I think he's a live dog here. And then also I like over 1.5 rounds too, because that's at plus 100. I think everyone thinks it's like minus 330. Jim Crute knocks people out. He's going to knock this dude out. I do think it probably ends in a finish one way or the other, probably in the third. But like you said, there's a lot of chalk here on this card. And so I had to do something to mix it up. And I actually do really like this bet. So plus 270, Bukkake over 1.5, plus 100. Maybe throw that in a little parlay, get yourself a nice little payday, take your girl out for some steak dinner. You could put that on me. So I like this one a lot. And if Bukkake actually wins this one, we got a new fan here. I'm all in. Like, these are the type of bets where
jumping
it's like,
ship on a previous guy on your team. That's like a big jersey trade right there.
I know, because if you could pull in a near 300 when you're like, oh no, I spotted this guy first, it's automatic. Like, that's my boy. He's taking me to the top. And it's at 205, and it's very rare you see a guy that actually like is trying to have somewhat of a technical striking, actually has some good footwork. So I'm riding with that.
Okay, interesting. I'm gonna go second to last pick for me. I'm jumping up to the to the main event. I don't know why I said co-main event. Zombie and Ortega. So I'm not like you or most people. I think it was extremely out of character that Ortega just kind of slapped this dude. And I guess, I don't know, maybe it's my cynical nature. Like, I kind of thought it was a little bit funny. Like, I don't know, bullying.
Oh, it was.
Bullying can be funny. But that said, like, I'm still on the Brian. Dude, anytime. First of all, I've long said that like Summer Rae has been jumping up the different unofficial rankings for myself. Halle Berry continues to defy the logic of time. And he's like, the guy's on it. You can't not respect him. And Brian Ortega just seems so fucking cool. So like that said, I gotta. So this bet pains me, but I'm taking Zombie at minus 185. I fundamentally. It's weird. This is a weird one, and I know that he's had basically all of 2 years off, and it sounds like he's like, yeah, no, I just wasn't making the right choices, or like not making the right choices, but he's like, oh no, I would like neglect wrestling and neglect this because I was just at a point where it was kind of, oh well, if I've got enough power that people will try to wrestle me, and then I can get to the ground. So it sounds like he has been doing the right things. That said, where he was to where he needs to go to, I think, win this style matchup is a long way. And I think with the 2-year layoff, it's impossible to deny that Zombie's probably gotten better in this time because he continues to just keep getting better.
Yeah.
He's
a machine.
Yeah.
Like literally a machine.
Yeah. He's making leaps and bounds and getting better. I just don't know how Ortega wins this fight. Like, Ortega's stand-up has gotten better. The only thing that I'll give him, he's probably got a little more creative stand-up. Like, Zombie's typically not throwing a ton of head kicks. He's not throwing spinning elbows and doing crazy shit like that nowadays. It's mostly just he's low kicks, body kicks, sticking with the hands. But his boxing it's cleaner than Ortega's. And even if that's what I'm saying, like, maybe he did. Maybe Ortega made huge leaps, but did he make leaps enough to catch up to Zombie in a boxing match? I don't know. Is his jiu-jitsu great? Like, yeah, Brian Ortega probably maybe even the best jiu-jitsu at 145, honestly. But is Zombie's good enough to avoid just getting like standing guillotined like Clay Guida? Yes, it is in my mind. I do think that. Now, again, if Ortega can drag him down to the mat, and have time to play in full guard or something, okay, things could get interesting. But I don't see how he gets him to the mat. Like, Zombie's a pretty good counter wrestler. Like, yeah, I would say that these Dennis Bermudez cats and these other dudes that Zombie's fought have better wrestling than Zombie just iced Frankie Edgar. Like, if Frankie Edgar can't take you down, I don't think that Brian Ortega is going to be able to. It's just it's really tough. Like they're both obviously really good, and I think if you put Ortega in there with another one of these top guys at 145, I think he probably beats him. But this one's tough. I can't see an avenue to victory, and since I've ruled out all avenues to victory, I'm going to take Zombie, man.
And
minus 185.
I have Zombie as well. I think when Ortega last fought, if it was the next fight up, like 3 months after, I'm hammering Ortega. But after the 2 years, like you said, like that gap, like I don't know what, like I haven't seen any body of work, and I've seen Korean Zombie continue. Like he beat fucking Yair Rodriguez. I don't care what anyone says. Like the fucking bell rang. All right, that was a late hit.
Yeah.
Then, like following that up with wins over Frankie Edgar and who's the other guy too? The guy that dropped or went up to 155.
He beat Moicano.
He
beat Edgar.
Then lost to Yair, which
he had Yair. But I mean, dude,
those are solid. Like if Ortega came back and he gave me any reason to believe that, like, okay, he's fixed those things, because the Korean Zombie now that we see going against the old Brian Ortega, I think that guy wins. And so I'm just banking on, okay, I'm sure Brian Ortega has gone better, but you also taking, like, ring rust is a thing, whether or not you say it. And I think ring rust with a fight where there's actually like tension and there's like a spotlight and there's all that sort of thing, like you're not going to have time to make those mental errors. And those are all extra reasons to make mental errors. So gotta go with Korean Zombie here. And like, it's hard not to like Korean Zombie because he won. His personality is wallpaper, but his worth ethic and the fact that he's just like down for whatever just makes him like this. He doesn't seem human. He seems like just a machine that wants to go out there and hurt people. And then you have on the opposite end of the spectrum, Brian Ortega, the pretty boy who wants to go out there and just fuck chicks. So I guess I'm not going to knock it. It worked for Luke. That was Luke Rockhold's secret remedy for years. But too much of Brian Ortega just sitting sidelines next to chicks, not enough Instagram highlight workout videos. If I would have seen a wrestling YouTube video, you better believe my ass would have been on Brian Ortega.
You would have had a Michael Chandler workout video.
Ex-Catwoman. So Brian Ortega or TKZ over Brian Ortega minus 180. I don't know how this plays out. Like I don't know.
I honestly think it's just going to be a boxing match, dude.
Yeah.
I really think that that's going to be it. And I think it's going to be a boxing match that Korean Zombie wins.
Yeah. Korean Zombie's got to be smart though. Cause if he's he's going to try to knock his fucking head off, but Brian Ortega his chin is unreal. Like
but that's what I'm saying. Because I think Korean Zombie knows, like, technically he's a better boxer. So unless Ortega does something that surprises him really early on, I don't see a reason why Ortega wouldn't end up like trying to figure out how to clinch and get takedowns, and why Zombie wouldn't land enough punches to win. I'm not saying that Ortega's not going to land anything. He's going to land hard shots too. Ortega, like, surprisingly in his last couple fights prior to Holloway, like, he showed a surprising degree of power that I didn't see earlier in his career, but he hits pretty fucking hard. So these guys are both
I saw someone say something though, outside of Frank, like he beat up a wash Frankie Edgar. Has he beaten anyone inside the top 10 other than that?
He beat Moicano too.
Did he really?
Yeah, that was like, I think, who he fought just before that.
Oh, well, I retract that statement.
Yeah,
never mind.
Quickly refuted.
Yeah, totally. It's just gone from my memory. So, well, still staying with TKZ.
Cub Swanson.
I mean,
yeah, also old, but at the time, like, still flirting with the top 10.
I know. That's nowhere
near that.
That fucked me because I think I went all in on Cub Swanson. I'm like, dude, it's Cub Swanson. This guy hasn't been tested. It's like, oh wait, that's not Cub Swanson out there. That's a shell of him.
Yeah, fuck. The straw man, Cub Swanson. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So lock time. I don't know. I'm curious as to who your lock is, unless you have the same one as me.
Probably.
Unless you're jumping over to Bellator.
Oh no.
No, I'm not. But I was saying, if you are, they're probably different. But so little down the card, I believe headlining the prelims is Matthias Gamrot. Is that your lock?
Nope. Not Matthias Gamrot. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, okay.
The guy is.
Oh, well, this guy's coming over from KSW. And I when I was looking through the card, I knew I recognized the name somewhere. I'm like, I gotta see what this guy is. Again, like I said, I don't have a lot of pride in my card because this is 2 weeks in a row that I'm going with over minus 200 locks, which is not necessarily good for your boy if something were to go catastrophically wrong.
Yeah.
But Matthias Gamrot, minus 280. This guy's coming over from KSW. He's fighting, what's this guy's name? Grom Kutaladze or something. And neither of them have fought in the UFC before. The other guy, both undefeated. And the other guy has fought basically his whole career in like, he's done like Brave, bounced around to a couple different spots. Here's the deal. I'm actually excited about Gamrot as like a legit prospect, which doesn't happen very often. And a legit prospect, I mean, as in somebody that's had more than like 5 fights. I'm the king of like, if I see like it, what the fuck? If I see like 1,000 people, whatever, I guess it's fucking, I've got 9,000 devices in this goddamn room that are not mine.
Whatever. I can
they're
barely
all going off.
Yeah.
Anyway, Matthias Gamrot. So this guy, not like I'm the king of I'll get on somebody's train if I see, like these Contender Series guys. It's like, oh my God, he nuked 6 people. I like that. Like Sean O'Malley. I'm still a fan of Sean O'Malley, even though he took that last loss salty. Like Sean O'Malley's much watched to me. He had like 7 fights before he went on the Contender Series, and then he just did all that cool spinning shit. And it's like, yeah, that guy, that's my guy. Gamrot is actually, I think he's 17-0, maybe 18-0, and he's got 1 no contest. I think he poked someone in the eye like 500 times. But actually good. Like if you watch his fights, when you go through his catalog of fights, so he's beat Norman Park a couple times, which is a UFC talent. So that automatically tips into his favor. 2, when you watch his last few fights, in just his last couple, you see explosive double legs, securing takedowns, positive. You see, you'll see combination punching, also positive. You even see heel hooks, like good ones, not shitty outside leg heel hooks. You see good shit. I'm excited about this guy's prospect. I think he's going to bust this Kutaladze guy, and my lock of the week. I know it's kind of shitty. Again, minus 280.
Are these higher weights, lower weights?
55.
Okay. Yeah. And when you think about it too, like I'm always putting in stock of like, what does the UFC want? It's like, does the UFC want the guy from the regional scene that's been bouncing around a little bit that worked his way up to the UFC? Or does he want the guy from KSW, Poland that has a bunch of highlights? That's the one that they want. They definitely did. I know both these guys are UFC debuts, but they gave him a UFC debut so that he can stun on him. And one of them is going to be the clear victor. So yeah, no, totally not on my radar at all. For sure taking that night. I might take it right now as a personal lock because you sold me. So fuck.
When we got into the combination punching and the wrestling, I'm like, okay, this is it. And then you see a couple heel hook highlights in there in MMA that like,
you're like, I'm going to need some
like
tissues.
Actual heel hooks. And I'm like, whoa, like maybe this guy knows it. Now, again, I don't expect him to go heel hook this guy. I'm sure that person that he was heel hooking was like a fucking jobber, but the point being, like he actually knows how to do that properly against somebody that even if they suck. I don't trust half the UFC people to know how to do like the heel hook or some form of grappling like that properly.
Kelvin Gastelum didn't know what fucking hit him.
Yeah. Like I don't trust those people to do it on the dummy correctly. Where like this guy got it to work in a live match. That's enough for me, man. Like sold. And again, like I said, very like I can't say enough good things, which is, hopefully win. So this doesn't make me seem like a complete fucking buffoon, but there were a lot of things that weren't just highlights of like overhand right nuclear shot. It wasn't just like it's not when you go through his fights, you're not just, oh, here's another one of his fights that is a 30-second clip and it's just him Francis Ngannouing someone. It's like, oh no, there's like things to watch here, like promising things.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Liking what I'm hearing, I'm for sure putting it in. My lock of the week, surprise it's not on your card, so I'm interested to see what you have on it. Comes in the Caitlin Chokagian
so
fight.
Far away from this fight.
What throws me off is the going up to 135, which I think
125. I thought it was 125.
125, and I think so. Andrade is the favorite here at minus 150. I think if this was like Andrade already had a couple fights at 125, the line would be much steeper. There's a clear path to victory for Chokagian. Look at fucking how Thug Rose or Joanna has done it. But Caitlin's not those girls. She's not going to be able to do what those girls do. She's not going to be able to keep Andrade, who is going to be stronger, who's going to have more gas, she's not going to be able to keep herself off the fence. And I don't trust her grappling enough, her wrestling nearly enough to keep from getting taken down and just getting her face busted.
She did armbar the shit out of that last chick, though.
That's true. But yeah, just I don't know how, like, if for Caitlyn to win, she just has to keep her at bay. She's going to hayat the fuck out of her.
I was going to say, are you nervous about getting out hayat for 2 rounds?
No, because I think Andrade sees what we see in the sense of she's like, I can't get hurt by this. I'm just going to rush in and fucking bust your face in. Like Andrade already does that with people that can hurt her. And if you think just because she's going up a weight class, if it was against any other power striker, maybe, but there's 115 pounders that hit way harder than Caitlyn Chookagian. So if that's what's going to be, it's like Caitlyn wins when it's girls that are willing to kind of like, oh, we're going to play this stand-up kickboxing range and we're going to point fight. This isn't point fighting. This is a brawl. I don't see Chookagian winning a fucking brawl. So Andrade, minus 150, lock of the week. I'm not going to lie. I've had way more confident lock of the weeks. I would say all of these bets are probably equally level of lock, with Andrade being the slight head and also at 150. I didn't want to lose my ass. I almost went fucking Bukakis as my lock of the week at plus 270. That's how confident I am about him.
I almost went Zombie, but there's too much that could go wrong. Like, again, I didn't watch this guy. I haven't seen too much on this guy that's fighting Gamrot, but like I said, I just spent the last 20 minutes nut hugging over it. But I saw enough in Gamrot. I'm like, that has potential. Like, this isn't because who was the other chick that came over from KSW? The Violence Queen.
Oh yeah,
she's a bae. But Ariane Lipsky. But her highlights were all just her just overwhelming the fuck out of people for like 30 seconds at a time. Saw some different shit. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, very tough to pick a lock this week. And I had to stay away from that Andrade because I have no idea. Because I don't know. Like, does Andrade try to change something? There's just there's too many things. No. I know, but there's too many things that, like, I'd be so upset if, like, in the first round, because Chookagian is pretty tall. So it's like, if this is the fight, and I know you could say that about literally any fight, but it's like, if this is the fight where she's like, oh, I can just kind of like if I have enough cardio to backpedal, front kick and jab for 10 minutes, I can win this fight if I don't get knocked out. And like, if this is the fight that she were to like figure that out, I'd be like, God fucking damn it. Like, it just, and then on the other side, if I picked Chookagian and I'm like, maybe this is the fight that she figures out. This is where we go for the dog. And also, I mean, you could see the working with the blue basement at work, especially in a last fight. You watched her cycle through heel hook attempt, this, that, the other thing. And I wholesomely trust her to be better equipped to handle it, like those type of grappling situations than Andrade. But so if you're like, oh, okay, well, even if she gets taken down. So then on the flip side, I was just thinking, if I bet on Chookagian and then Andrade does what you are suspecting her to do, which is basically just bulldoze into her and just wreck her with hooks, I'd be like, what? Why would I think that something that wasn't that was going to happen?
Like why did I think? Foolish. And that's based. I'm going off athleticism here. I think Caitlyn is definitely the more technical fighter. I don't think she's just as much of a threat. Like, even with the ground game where it's like, oh, maybe Andrade doesn't want to take her down. Andrade is going to fucking muscle everything. Like, everything she tries through, Kimura, this or that. Even with like 115 to 125 isn't big enough jump where it's like, man, you could really tell the power difference here, especially with chicks. It's like, if you're a strong chick, it translates through multiple weight classes because you're just reached a level that they can't. And so I think if she's able, like, if Caitlyn tries any of that grappling shit, I could see a world where Andrade literally goes from her guard, picks her up just so she could slam her down a la Thug Rose, which would be sick. So I don't know. I like her here. But like I said, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the biggest lock I've ever seen. But by the end of this card, I'm actually feeling pretty good, which tells you, hey, man, maybe we're flying a little too close to the sun. Or maybe we just figured this shit out, man. It's starting to feel that way. And that's what makes it scary.
Game the system.
No, I've been getting a few extra $100 every week, just letting my bookie collect. So I'm liking it. But that's our show for this week. Next week, what do we got going on? We got
Khabib, dude.
That's already next week.
Finally.
Fucking finally. Khabib, we got Robert Whittaker, we got Jared Cannonier. Ooh, that's gonna be a good one.
We got that super hot Russian chick.
Which one? Oh yeah, I don't know her name, but she posted a picture the other day that, let's just say, it made some things move.
Sticky.
Sticky. All right, well, that's our show for this week. You can follow me at Broliva. You can follow Nick at _ a guy in a gi, and you can always follow us at Below the Belt MMA. Don't forget to tune in to Fight Me Bro radio show. It comes out usually Tuesdays, and then on Fridays we have our unofficial rankings. This week we did craziest knockouts. That's a good one. So that will be a controversial one because me and Nick had none of the same picks. So we'll see who wins this week. But until next week, peace out, guys.